I'm sitting here with Omar Nour, Bobby McGee here from BobbyMcGee.com, and I've been privileged to be able to speak to him on a number of occasions and help him just a little bit with his running and his mental skills. I'm definitely not his primary coach. He's coached by Neil Henderson at the Boulder Center for Sports Medicine. But you know, in our world, there's lots of other things, and one of the things that we often talk about is you know, traveling and dealing with different cultures and so on. And Omar, you know, having spent a large part of his life in D.C. and Washington, but is also an experienced traveler and also a man from another culture, and in this case from North Africa, from Egypt. And I was going to ask him about that whole concept of when he's flying, traveling to airports and things like that. Do you get resistance from customs? Do you get funny looks? Do you have problems moving around the Western world as an Egyptian?
I think I'm just a very positive human being.
Yep.
And so and sometimes it comes in handy in situations like this, because
yeah.
I don't really notice these things, you know, and I like to roll with the punches.
All right.
Yeah. A lot of my friends have noticed these things, but I try to use it to my advantage.
So you're above it all.
I try to use it to my advantage.
Yeah.
I'll give you a short little story. Is when as soon as 9/11 happened, etc., and people were very worried as Arab Americans, etc., to even travel at all.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And I started traveling, and I noticed, like, okay, well, obviously there's a lot more attention on me than there usually would be.
Yeah, you get frisked more often than anybody else does.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's fine. It's okay. It's part. I mean, something happened that.
Yeah.
So people are going to look at me a little bit differently. And that's okay. But I decided, so this is a perfect example of Omar, right?
Yeah.
I decided to, okay, I'm going to grow my beard from now on. And at that time, I had just graduated from college, so I was going to travel. I was going to travel.
When you grow a beard, nobody will notice. I mean, you don't have a heavy growth at all.
Oh, no. Let me tell you. I shaved twice today. So I grew a beard, and I would fly Southwest because I was still broke, and Southwest was good, but they don't give you a seat assignment.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I leverage this so I can use it to my advantage? You know? So I would sit, and there's a split second as you're walking down the aisle where you make a decision. Do I sit here, on the third seat and leave the middle one empty, or do I keep on going? Maybe I'll find my own row. And it's a split second that is awkward, There's eye contact. So whenever people would come, I would be me in a beard, and as they're walking, I would give them the hair, and I would give them the evil eye. Give them that one, So they would look and they say, and they keep on going. So for maybe like 6 months to a year, I was always traveling with an entire row, to myself. So you can always leverage things, use it. But there's definitely a little bit of, it's different.
I was reading the other day, and I tweeted about it with Mo Farah, the great British distance runner. He's originally from Eritrea, correct?
Right.
Yeah, and how he had to eventually fish out his gold medals at the airport to prove that he, was who he said he was. So some challenges. When I used to travel with my South African passport, I'd often also get the same kind of thing, just get an extra look over. But terrible as it may seem in the world that we live in that you're referring to, if I used to travel with runners from South Africa that were black, then they would take 4, 5, 6, 7 times as long as I did to get through customs, and it was extremely frustrating. But I guess as you say, it's the way of the world. We have to deal with it, but we can also do our share and bring awareness to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can bring an awareness to it, but I also think that getting frustrated about things like this, especially in this situation, only aggravates it.
Exactly.
It makes it worse. It makes it like, oh, see, he was terrible, But smiling about it and having a good time with it and being like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. It's your job. Fine, do it. I think that's doing our share. That's alleviating the situation. That's making it lighter, and it's making it, they're not that bad after all,
Exactly. Oh, perfect. Well, thanks, Omar.
No problem.